This story contains some strong language. Day 17. Impulsive. Just give it to me. Gerald snatched the sandwich out of the food technician's hand. It was the new gourmet turkey and sun-dried peppers that was about to be focus grouped for launch in the second quarter. In reality, there was little gourmet about it. The turkey was reconstituted fragments sprayed off bird skeletons in Poland before being frozen and shipped. The peppers ones the other supermarkets didn't want, probably because they had never actually seen the sun and been desiccated to almost nothing. But there was no legal definition of the word gourmet. Gerald was the owner of the holding group that had swallowed up this high-end supermarket brand in the last year, as well as several others, and nobody could tell you, least of all Gerald, why he felt the need to be involved in the development of a new sandwich. But he had heard somewhere they were doing the first round of tasting today, and he demanded to be there. A semicircle of people in white coats and hairnets stared at him. His trouser-suited assistant held the same expression as them as Gerald munched. "Fucking disgusting, what else have you got?" Most of the technicians looked sheepishly at one of their number, who felt compelled to speak up. "I'm sorry, sir, but the purpose of today is to gather as much feedback amongst ourselves so we can begin to refine before opening it up to the public. Could you be more specific about why you don't like it?" "He said it was fucking disgusting. He can't be more definitive than that, can he?" Gerald's assistant said, daring the food tech to answer back. Gerald held out the half-eaten sandwich to the man in white. "Do you want to try it?" The edge of the missing crescent was glistening. "That's all right, sir. Perhaps you'd like to try the vegetarian feta cheese and balsamic salad on a seeded loaf." Vegetarian? Well, that already sounds fucking disgusting, but go on then. 20 minutes later, as he and his assistant were leaving, Gerald was excited to see how the workers were trying to hide their annoyance. They would probably have to start the whole process again. "I want to sell it," he said, as his assistant slid into the Bentley, sitting opposite. "Sell the sandwiches, sir?" "Well, I suppose so, but no, I mean the chain. They're stuck in the past." "Sir, Rowley's is the premium supermarket brand in the South and Southeast. M&S and Waitrose would kill for their market share. It's where people with money shop to feel like people with actual money." "I don't care, sell it, they're stuck up." "Well, it's going to take time. It won't be difficult to get offers, but—" "What did I tell you about details?" His assistant blinked and closed her mouth. "Right, yes, sorry, sir." She looked like she had something to say, something else she needed him to deal with, so he elaborately sighed, rubbing his thighs and putting his attention out of the window until she stopped. Gerald had always been rich. His father had been very wealthy, not to the same level, but pretty bloody rich. As for the rest of the family, short of absorbing him in the womb, Gerald had made sure he had taken everything from his twin brother growing up, and when Dad had died. Now it was just Mum left, and not even the nurses thought she was worth talking to anymore. As the industrial buildings gave way to fields along the motorway, he played his favourite game with himself, trying to imagine being poor. He liked this game because, in always failing, he was reminded of how much of a winner he was. It wasn't that he couldn't picture an empty bank account or living in a council flat, it was the feeling he couldn't muster. Whenever he saw these people on TV, they always looked miserable, and even if he saw himself surrounded by plastic bags drinking special brew, he couldn't muster the misery. He had no frame of reference. He would always be able to buy whatever he wanted. The world was his sweet shop. They passed a white van with a garish colour picture down the side, above the name Corbyn's Whirlpools and Jacuzzis. "Put a hot tub in my bedroom," he said, still looking out of the window. Sure," Which one? Asked his assistant. I trust you to pick a good one, just make sure it's big enough for a few people and the jets are strong. No, sir, which bedroom? They stopped at the services. The driver was leaning against his door, smoking, while Gerald's assistant had gone in to get him some wine gums. He looked around at the almost empty car park. Under the grey sky, he saw fast food wrappers hiding under the bushes off to one side. A traffic cone lay on its side where it looked like it had been left years before. People gazed half-heartedly around, trying to remember where they'd left their horrid cars. Why did people live like this? Why did this place look like this? Were people so stupid, so lazy to be happy to just roll around in this filth? What was wrong with them? Or what was different about Gerald? He knew he was different. He knew he was blessed with seeing the world for what it actually was, what it could be. Gerald was a visionary. If he were charitable, he would share his gift with these people. It was true. If he shared only a fraction of what he knew about reality, he could alter millions of people's lives in ways they couldn't even begin to imagine. He had the cheat codes to the universe. But did they deserve it? Really? His assistant opened the door gently. She looked more worried than usual. Sir? What? They only had fruit pastels. That's what I asked for, wasn't it? Christ, she was thick sometimes. Yes, sorry. Just get in, would you? He took the tube off her and started unspooling the sweets, putting 4 in his mouth at once. His assistant watched them go in. I've had an idea, he said, sort of, through the chewing. His assistant braced herself. I'm going to run for Prime Minister.